Welcome into NFL Daily. I am Tom Downey, and today's show is presented by Manscaped. You can get 20% off and free shipping on all of their top-of-the-line men's grooming products at manscaped.com/chat. We begin today's show with the noteworthy NFL news around Terry McLaurin, the star receiver for the Washington Commanders, will not be present at mandatory minicamp, meaning this is now a holdout for McLaurin as he looks to get paid by the Commanders. Now, important information here. The Commanders don't have to fine McLaurin, especially if they excuse his absence from minicamp, but he is subject to fines if the team so chooses to levy them against their star receiver of almost $100,000. Here's the day-by-day breakdown. $15.5K for day one, $31K for day two, thereabouts. We're rounding because it's easier to say. $46.5 for day three, over $93,000 in fines if the Commanders want to fine McLaurin for skipping out on the mandatory part of minicamp this week for Washington. It's pretty clear what McLaurin wants: to get paid, and understandably so. The new receiver market has been pretty insane. Christian Kirk kind of sort of got things going with a outlandish deal from Jacksonville, and that kind of led to a trickle-down effect of other big-time receivers getting massive contracts. Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, and A.J. Brown. 4 of the 5 guys on this list were traded and then got new deals from their new teams. Cooper Kupp, of course, who recently signed a big-time deal with the LA Rams, is the lone exception to that group. Even the second batch of highest-paid receivers, the baseline for number one receivers, more or less, and I think we could maybe argue because Mike Williams is also in that $20 million price tag, and Chris Godwin are the true number ones. I'm not so sure, but they're pretty darn close to it. You got to pay these receivers $20+ million per year. And McLaurin has been a consistent, almost in 2019, 1,000-yard guy despite a rotating crop of okay to mediocre quarterbacks in his time with the Commanders, from Taylor Heineke to who was supposed to be briefly Ryan Fitzpatrick, and how that turned out as well. McLaurin has balled out despite not good quarterback play. You saw the big jump in the catches 2020 and 2021. He is one of the better young receivers in the NFL, in that same category of an A.J. Brown, of a DK Metcalf, etc. So it's understandable that McLaurin then wants to get a significant amount of money from the Commanders. His production over his 3 years in the NFL has been absolutely fantastic. That is significant and noteworthy, and it's easy to understand why he wants to get paid. And if you're the Commanders, given that Curtis Samuel cannot stay healthy, you probably should want to pay McLaurin. I think this deal gets done, but I would have said that about Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill and A.J. Brown, and we know how that went down. So what do you think, in the end, the Commanders end up doing with Terry McLaurin? Type T for they trade him, P for they pay him, or W for some reason they wait and do nothing at this point. This is the pinned comment on today's video, so if the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know, T, P, or W. Let's move to kind of sort of the other receiver who got traded, Tyreek Hill. He has been defending Tua all off season, saying lately that, or most recently I should say, Tua is a more accurate quarterback than Patrick Mahomes, and that he would rather have Tua's accuracy over Mahomes' arm strength. Now, it's two different claims. The accurate part we'll get into. The I would rather have Tua as my quarterback over Mahomes. Come on now. But then again, what else is Tyreek Hill going to say? He's going to say, oh yeah, my quarterback sucks, I took the money? No, of course not. Here's what Tyreek said. Obviously, Patrick has the strongest arm, but accuracy, I'm going with Tua all day. Now, we're going to break down some of the advanced stats on this front in terms of Pro Football Reference, NFL's Next Gen Stats, Sports Info Solutions, as it relates to accuracy and whatnot. Before we get to that, who is the more accurate QB? Emphasis on accurate, because despite what Tuana might try to tell you, Mahomes is clearly the better quarterback of the two. But who's more accurate? Type in TT for Tua, PM for Patrick Mahomes. Here are some accuracy stats, and we'll break them all down. We'll spend a lot of time on this particular graphic. Pure completion percentage. Well, Tua has the advantage there over Mahomes, 67.8% versus 66.3%. Although we do know that Mahomes tends to push the ball downfield a little bit more because, well, he had Tyreek Hill and the Dolphins' offense line was bad and his arm's stronger, right? Expected completion percentage is an NFL next-gen stats developed to factor in different types of throws and all that stuff, what the average quarterback completion would be. Tua is pretty favorable in that area, plus 0.9%. Not much, but those numbers stay pretty similar across the board. Advantage over Mahomes, who was negative 2.1%. On-target throw percentage is per Pro Football Reference. 80.1% in favor of Tua, 77.5% in favor of Mahomes. The volume of bad throw percentage, 18.8% for Mahomes, 16.3% in favor of Tua. Catchable throw percentage, this number from Sports Info Solutions, 86.1% for Tua and 84.6% for Mahomes. Obviously, Mahomes is the much better quarterback because, well, we all have eyeballs. But from a purely accuracy perspective, what Tyreek Hill said isn't wrong. Then again, we also should know that accuracy isn't the only thing that matters for quarterbacks, and that's why everyone knows Mahomes is a better QB than Tua. But purely on accuracy, Tyreek's actually right. Today's show is presented by Manscaped. They're giving you 20% off and free shipping on the new Platinum package when you go over to manscaped.com/chat. You get the Lawnmower 4.0, the Weed Whacker, the Ultra Premium collection of their deodorant, body spray, and body wash, shampoo, conditioner, and some ball toner, ball deodorant as well. The travel case, which is super important if you ever, travel, and the most comfortable boxers known to man. All those individual items added up is well over $200. In fact, you're saving 52% in total with the Platinum package and 20% off and free shipping when you go to manscaped.com/chat. That link will be in the comments section and in the description. Again, that's manscaped.com/chat. Some free agency rumors now on Carlos Dunlap. He is visiting the Carolina Panthers today, which could be a bit of a homecoming for Dunlap, who grew up in South Carolina, so the Panthers are his hometown team to an extent. The Panthers lost Hassan Reddick and didn't really add anybody of note to replace him. Dunlap had been released by the Seahawks earlier this offseason as they kind of overhauled their defensive scheme, going from bit more of some 4-3 looks to a true 3-4 base defense. They didn't think Dunlap fit as that stand-up edge rusher. In a rather under-the-radar couple seasons, Dunlap can still produce. Now, he doesn't bring you that much as an every-down player. He's not someone you always want out there as a run stopper. He's more of a situational pass rusher. But it is very difficult to consistently find six-sack players, especially in June, in NFL free agency. So I am surprised how little interest there's been in Dunlap. Carolina makes logical sense for him because I love Brian Burns. I think one of the better young pass rushers in the entire NFL. He's been a stud for Carolina. Beyond him, a lot of uncertainty. Arturo Gross-Matos hasn't quite broken out. Frankie Louva, I'm kind of cheating. He's kind of that hybrid linebacker edge. He'll fill, to an extent, the Hassan Reddick role as like a hybrid edge linebacker, but you also should want another pure pass rusher. Maybe Amari Barno, Marquise Haynes, former day 3 picks. Barno this past year, day 3 pick. Maybe they break out. It's a lot to ask for. Dunlap as a veteran makes a ton of sense as a fit for the Carolina Panthers. Who do you think is the best unsigned NFL free agent? I don't think it's Dunlap. He's in that conversation, top 25-ish. Maybe it's Odell Beckham. Maybe it's somebody else altogether. Let me know in the comments section who you think the best unsigned NFL free agent is. We're getting closer and closer to 303,000 subscribers. Thank you all so much. If you've already, click that big red button and join us. If you haven't, now is the time. We got daily NFL videos, NBA coverage as well. My boy Chase Sr. back again for some NBA Finals watch parties here on Chat Sports. So if you love the NBA, and especially if you love the NFL, hit that big red button right now and join us for more free videos. One last note on Lamar Jackson. As expected, which we broke down on yesterday's video, which you all watched because you're subscribed, right? Jackson has shown up to mandatory minicamp for the Baltimore Ravens. He had previously skipped OTAs. The reports out of Baltimore were he's going to be there. That was the expectation, and he now is. It is still a bit of a weird situation as relates to Lamar Jackson overall. He has yet to make any progress on what would likely be a top 5 highest paid quarterback in the NFL deal, apparently by his own choosing, because Lamar has been waiting and waiting. The Ravens publicly have said, we want to pay Lamar once he wants to engage in negotiations. At some point that'll happen. It's just weird it hasn't happened at this point. Maybe it happens now that he's back at minicamp and around the organization. But either way, it's good news for the Ravens to have their franchise quarterback back at the mandatory portion of the offseason.